As a climber, I would like to think that I am pretty good. Nah, 1. Flexibility. Not to toot my own horn, but 99% of the time, I am the most flexible climber within proximity to any particular boulder at any particular time of time. I can do the pancake. I could twist my knees, yay. My shoulders are practically maxed out in terms of mobility. My wrists can bend as much as is needed or required for the problem at hand. And what all this basically allows me to do is allows me to climb unencumbered by the prison that is known as my fleshy vessel of a body. This does give me a little bit more options than the average not so flexible climber, so haha. But of course, all of this is only possible through the prowess of consistent stretching. More flexibility is never a bad thing. Not to say it's the end all be all, it's definitely not. 2. Mentality of success. I don't have fun from trying. I mean, I do, but I have even more greater fun from sending the problem. I am not the type to feel good just because I put all my heart and soul into something. I have to come out of it on top. And when I do not, the grand disappointment from failure feeds me into trying harder immediately. Consequently, I hold myself up to a higher standard of success, and thus I experience lows and highs pretty much all the time. Sometimes I have some pretty low moments and it's hard to shake them off, but I always do shake it off because I know within my heart of hearts that being low is not something I particularly care about, therefore I shouldn't focus too much on it. I only care about the peak, so be it if I fall, it is irrelevant. I am solely focused on mounting my project. That's what's important to me. 3. Not good at anything, not bad at anything. As much as I like to say I'm good at overhangs with jugs, I'm pretty good at all angles of climbing to more or less the same degree. I can't pinpoint any particular weakness of mine that's more abundant than anything else. I can't say I have bad pulling strength because I could one-arm pull-ups, so probably not true. I can say I don't like slabs that much, but that doesn't mean I'm not good at them. I like to play around with the idea that my fingers are weak, but evident of this video, they're definitely not. I'm even flexible, so that's not an issue. I can say I don't like sideways coordination, but that just means I don't like sideways coordination and I'm not willing to put in the effort to become great at them. Not that I am unable to become great at them. Sloper, pinches, crimps, etc., etc. Not one particular type of hold feels like my bane by any means. I have no grand fears when presented with a problem of the indoor variety or the outdoor variety, except for maybe high balls, because a high ball means there's a chance of a high fall, and a high fall means dead. Overall, it's hard to pinpoint any weakness of mine, really. Like, even if you look at me and say, wow, yo, we get this, you know, you give me enough time and I'm gonna send the problem. Maybe I suck at flashing. That's probably my weakness, if I was to say flashing. 4. The worst shoes. So I climb in the 510 Nayad moccasins, and universally agreed these shoes are not the best. Like, my friends constantly roast me on why I climb with these shoes. And not to front or anything, but there have been legitimate climbs where these shoes have just totally prevented me from climbing them. But I'll let you know something. I climb all my climbs in these shoes, which means I've climbed my hardest climbs in these shoes. Someone once said, it is not the weapon, but he who holds the weapon. But in actuality, I only wear these shoes because they're comfortable for me, because I'm a comfort climber. I like to slip them on once and slip them off once per climbing session. A shoe that I could climb for 5 to 7 hours straight in and not have a problem, that's the type of shoe I want to wear. And of course, without doubt, undoubtedly, these are not the most highest performing shoe on the market by any means, but I can indeed perform highly with them on my feet, and that's the important part, right? And as much as I like to periodically blame my shoes for my failure to send, truth be told, only about 4% of the climbs I've ever done in these shoes have been impossible because I was wearing these shoes. 5. I like climbing. Now, obviously, I like climbing, and
yeah, fuck yeah.
how can we say that liking something can be your strength? Well, let me educate. When you like something, you tend to spend a lot of time around that something. And because of all the time you spend around that something, you tend to learn a lot about it and become good at whatever it is that you're spending a lot of time around. Take for example, let's say you've fallen in love with a human. You and that human spend a lot of time together, and eventually you start to pick up on all their habits, their little quirks, their little tells. You weren't trying to, but just simply because you like that person, you pay enough attention to them, you start to notice. Same thing with climbing. Because I spend so much time around climbing, because I like it so much, I've picked up little nuances that the normal, everyday, average onlooker climber would not even ever think to consider. But of course, with love does come a certain blindness to the subject, meaning kinda makes you view the thing you view with a great sense of bias, which means you're not so open-minded. And in society and in anything, it's all about the overlaps that help improve other things. 6. Solely focus on sending. I really don't care what the intended beta is. This is especially true for outdoor climbing. All I really care about is going from the bottom to the top. I just want to send, which means No idea is too dumb for me to try in earnest. Take this V6 for example. Here, I totally just dyno to the end. Look at these crimps. I'm supposed to use these crimps. There's chalk on them. This is supposed to be a static type of ordeal. But I said, hey, nay, no brother, my man, my G. No, thank you very much. I'm about to dyno because it's much easier for me. Why would I want to do the problem the hardest way possible? I want to do it as easy as possible because my goal is to go to the top. But of course, this does rather kind of hurt me when I encounter a very straightforward problem. I tend to waste a lot of time trying to find other solutions when the answer is blatantly in front of my face, and it's called pull harder. Execute better. Yeah, it's kind of like a give and take, really. But even with those, I still try to cheese them as much as I can. 7. Solely focus on climbing. I like to say, as of now, my entire life is basically all about climbing better, harder, climb. I see no particular reason to travel unless I'm traveling to climb. If I'm to camp, I best be camping and climbing. And if I take an extended break from climbing, it was because it was a necessary rest to improve my climbing for when I come back. Of course, I don't want to say that I'm only good for climbing. That's definitely not true. I do other things, but climbing for me is foundational. Everything else is second dairy. And this particular attitude allows me to always put climbing first so that I can improve at it. And I really don't view me missing out on other activities as a honorable sacrifice for the thing I so love and desire. No, it's about choices and decisions, right? I made this decision. I know what I'm getting myself into. And once I'm done making this decision, because you can only climb for so long per day, I'll do everything else. It's not black and white. It's just first, second, 8. I'm very introverted. Contrary to my swillingly excellent speaking, I do like to hide inside my bubble all the time, which means I can climb by myself indoors, outdoors, on the home wall the entire time in solitude and be very comfortable and have a great awesome session. Also kind of means I can climb with other people and have a bonus session of communication while climbing, which is also fun for me. All I'm trying to say is I'm very effective alone and with other people. No matter the situation, I'm go. Improve. Progress. Yes. 9. What is an excuse? I don't ever make excuses with reverence. A lot of times I'm just complaining to, vent out frustration. If you ever catch me saying, actually, you will never catch me saying, I'm too short, because my height is something that cannot be changed. I'm more likely to say something along the lines of, I'm too weak. At least with weakness, you could turn that into a strength by training. If I complain or make excuses, it's always something that could be changed, like my shoes. And what this mindset does for me is it allows me to put all the blame onto myself and all the responsibility onto myself. Responsibility onto myself is a good thing, because if I'm responsible for myself, that means I have control over myself, and the idea of having control over my body is something I quite like. How most excellent. I am indeed a fan of controlling my own fate. Would you not concur? 10. Money. I don't really spend my money on anything really, which means I can spend it on climbing stuff, which is excellent. I have like 5 crash pads, 2 ropes, 12 quick draws, 2 gym memberships, 2 gym punch passes, a home wall, money for gasoline to go climbing outdoors. I think it's kind of weird to say that money is a strength, but let's face it, if you didn't have money, you wouldn't be able to afford the luxury known as climbing. So I aim to make as much money as possible so that I can climb however, wherever I like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, partner.